Hi, I would like to talk about an incident happened with me a few months back. I was just heading somewhere on my bike, and there were these two people on their bike who rushed into me and who asked me to stop my bike aside because they observed this fire sparks coming from the back wheel of the bike. So I didn't really understand what they were talking about. I thought there was genuinely something wrong with my bike. I didn't really feel suspicious about them at that moment. So I just stopped it aside and I started checking it out, but I couldn't figure out anything by myself because I was really poor at bikes, mechanics, and all these stuff. So I thanked them at that moment. I told them that I would take my bike to a garage and I'll get it fixed. But then they insisted me not to start the bike and not to move any further because it might increase the sparks and it might create rupture, and it is too risky to start the bike. That is what they've told me back then. And I didn't really understand what to do. And they introduced themselves as mechanics by profession, and they were just coming back from a client's bike delivery. They tried convincing me that they were mechanics, and they started checking my bike and they started examining things, and they told me that they would require more tools to check precisely and fix it. So they asked me to accompany them till their garage. And I denied it. That's when my suspicion started. I really didn't understand uh, why they were offering so generously, and I denied their advice, and I told them that my dad would come, and I started making uh, calls. I just acted as if I was making calls, and I was sharing the location with people, and as if I was asking people to come immediately. So I was doing all these things. Meanwhile, they asked me not to make others panic or worried about it because they will be able to make a temporary fix at that time. uh, so they started examining and they started checking things, and they acted as if they were fixing some wires. I really didn't know what they were doing. The suspicion got increased with their actions. So they started trying to show me that they were fixing something and all the stuff. And then they asked me to. They demanded money. I have given somewhere around 300 to 400 bucks, but then they said they would require more because they have done something really great and something that is really huge, and they saved my life. So all these things they were telling, and they were asking for more money. But I told them that I was running out of cash, and I also told them that I'll call my dad immediately so that he can reach, or my dad would visit their garage, talk to them personally, and give money and all these stuff. And I started creating a scene as if I was making serious calls to people, and as if I have people with me who can reach on time immediately. And then they started mumbling about themselves. Meanwhile, I have taken my bike and I just rushed out from the place immediately. I wasn't sure what the intentions were behind whatever they have done. I wasn't sure if they wanted to genuinely help me or to rob money from me or threaten me or harm me. I really didn't understand, but luckily I could escape, or I could get out of the situation immediately. So then I realized that these kind of people, they try to take advantage of your weakness or your ignorance or whatever it is. But there are people who try to take advantage, and that advantage may lead to any worse circumstances. So. And it was not even late in the night as well. It was just around 3 o'clock in the evening, and the location was near GD Metla. It's in an industrial area where it wasn't crowded. At the same time, it wasn't isolated as well. Anything could have gone wrong with me that day, and I could have handled the situation in better ways as well. But right now I'm sharing this incident because I have been through many of such kind of incidents, but I am sharing this one particular one because I have been hearing a lot from my female friends and a lot of girls that they've been getting trapped into situations like these, where such kind of people, they just come and they tell you that something is wrong with the vehicle, something is wrong with whatever the situation you're in. So they offer help politely, and or it could be anything. We really don't know what their intentions are. As I just mentioned, maybe to rob you, maybe to threaten you, or maybe to harm you physically or mentally. And I am talking about women especially right now because you understand the motive behind people approaching you, right? It we really don't know their intentions at all. Because of people like these, we often doubt good people. Like when somebody is genuinely ready to help you out from a situation, or when somebody is genuinely offering help, we really quite often judge them. We quite often feel that they are going to harm us or something. So basically this creates a lot of negative thinking on our minds. So also I just wanted to tell that it is not possible to reach home before sunset, or it is not always possible to have somebody along with you wherever you go. In this competitive world, we all work in our own professions and we all juggle a lot. In this process, we often travel alone in the nights, or we often juggle here and there alone. We often cross isolated areas. We often get into rough situations like these. So in this kind of situations, it is not always possible to have somebody along with you. Just because you're a girl, you can't have a robo, or you can't have any guy or anybody along with you to help you out or to rescue you immediately from that situation. So we all should create an awareness among ourselves about, or this should be a mandatory topic in our discussions, maybe with your friends, your siblings, family. This should be a mandatory discussion to let know others, or to create awareness that there are rescue teams, there are trusted people to help you out in situations like that. Of course, you'll have to talk about such scenarios. If you get stuck in such kind of scenario, how you're supposed to get out of it. And also, we all know that there are rescue teams across the city, but quite often when we get into situations like these, we will be horrified, we will be worried, and our mind won't work at that point of time. But our prompt actions should become our strength. We should be prepared about situations like these, how we have to get out of situations like these. So we have to know how to utilize these rescue teams well. It There are so many set of protocols we can set for ourselves. There are so many safety guidelines we can set for ourselves, so that we can protect ourselves and we can reach out to help immediately. Also, having said that, we I just rethought about myself, and I was just talking to my friends about it as well. And we get into situations like these, but luckily we got out of them safely. Of course, it creates a lot of trauma, but we come out of the situations. We came out of the situations safely, but we shouldn't be that ignorant, and we shouldn't be overconfident that we always will be able to come out of situations like these. We have to be prepared, and we have to be cautious about it, and we have to have a set of protocol to set to ourselves. So yeah, this is something that I just wanted to share with everybody. And I have some other posts coming up also in my stories, so you can just refer to them. Thank you.